Jai Jagannath. This being the month of Shravan, I dedicate this episode to Lord Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow before the great gods. It is said Lord Brahma is busy with his creation and Lord Vishnu is hard to please. But Lord Shiva is a friend of the devotees. When the devotee cries out in anguish, he comes down to fulfill his desires. No one can say, how is Lord Shiva? Whether he is as big as a mountain or as the universe itself. In today's episode, I would dwell in a mythological story relating to exploration of death, time. Since this is a story about death, mortality, we have to go beyond time, even when time didn't exist. We measure time because we are bound by death. Suppose, for example, we are going for a career planning and we were immortal. It would not matter whether it takes 5 years, 500 years, or 5,000 years, because we are neither bound by deadlines nor there is any scope for missed opportunities. So time and death are interrelated. Let's go beyond the pre-creation era when even time and space didn't exist. Only there was the ocean, eternal ocean of milk. One day wondrous things happen. From this infinite ocean comes out spontaneously a beautiful baby, from whose radiance dispelled the darkness all around him. He was none other than baby Vishnu. From his navels comes out the great cosmic lotus on which sits an impossibly ancient being, having white beard, 4 faces, 4 arms. He was the creator, Lord Brahma. From his first exhalation, the entire universe resounded with the sound of Om, and thus comes into reality time and space, planets and galaxies, sun, moon and stars, man, woman, animals and plants, etc. Thus, from the sound vibration of Om, creation has begun. Earlier people were immortal, for which the world was crowded, congested. Moreover, people suffered a lot because they were evil, because they don't bother for whatever they do, since they were not bound by death and therefore not answerable to any cosmic being for their karmic accounts. In order to restore harmony, Brahma created the god of death, Yama, who was titled Dharmaraj, deliverer of Dharma. Yama materializes, kneeling down before the god. He said, my lord, I have already thought of my duties. Every second I have to take lives. But this I can well manage the cosmic account book with my developed AI technology, and also I will deliver perfect dharma while taking the lives of people without peeping into their stature, maybe king or a layman. But the greatest problem in your entire creation is that nobody wants to die. Every time I go to take the life of somebody, it is literally a battle unto death. So this job is meant for failure. I cannot accept the job. Brahma said, don't worry, Yama, I have already thought of it and have created a lot of assistance for you in the shape of flood, famine, drought, cyclone, earthquake, tsunami, etc. But these are of lesser assistance. Which would be of greater assistance to you is my creation of frailty, old age, disease. But the most powerful weapon that I have provided you is that I have infused amongst all living beings the fear of death. When people grow up, they will be saddled with the sorrow, anger, greed, ego, jealousy, insatiable desires, and emotional attachments, being down with the 6 inner vices, regretting the past for the missed opportunities, and worrying for the impending disaster of future disease, death. They will fail to live in the present moment. This will stop their enthusiasm and will obliterate their vitality and vigor. So by the time you reach them to take their lives, it will just be a cake walk for you. Yama said, "Okay, my lord, I am with you." In this way, the god of death comes into a world of immortals. Long, long ago, there lived a rishi named Mrikhandu with his wife. They were pious couple and spent their time in serving, educating, and in deep inner meditation, chanting the mantras. They were leading an idyllic life, but the greatest sorrow was that they were issueless. On the advice of his wife, Mrikhandu goes on to deep meditation in that forest. After a long time, Lord Shiva appeared and said, "Mrikhandu, you have to make a choice between two alternatives. Either you will have a child who will lead a long life but will be a bad character, or else you will have a child who will have exemplary character but will die at the age of 16. Mrikhandu was a selfless, wise man. Immediately preferred the second option, saying, "A child with great character will be remembered for generations." Soon this couple, Shiva said, "Tathatu, be it so." Soon this couple were blessed with a son who was named Markandeya. Up in the heaven, Yama made a new entry into his cosmic account book. Markandeya on the right side, 16 years. On the first birthday of Markandeya, astrologers were stunned in seeing the horoscope of Markandeya. The moon and the exalted Jupiter on the first house and the exalted Mars on the right place, indicating extraordinary knowledge and extraordinary determination. They predicted the name of Markandeya will be remembered so long as the sun and moon exist. Markandeya gradually grows up. Quite before he was sent to the Gurukul for his education, he was a brilliant student, a precocious child. His powers of perception and recollection was something incredible, but the most important of which is that he begins to feel the truth, not just knowing it. The nexus between knowing and feeling is wisdom. No doubt Markandeya was an amazing student. One day, on the request of Markandeya, the teacher proceeded to explain him the meaning of Om in 3 lines recovered from the first verse of the Mandukya Upanishad. Everything that was created was made by Om. What has been, what is being, and what is about to be is made by Om. And that which has never been, is not being, and will never be, is also created by Om. The teacher said, "I have not yet got the meaning, but Markandeya got it." The teacher, overwhelmed with joy, says, "My students, you have completed your education. Now go back to the ashram and serve and educate others." Markandeya, when reached the ashram, everybody was delighted, including his parents. One day, while returning after completing the puja, Markandeya found his mother weeping like a child, his father tooth frozen, his shoulders shaking in silent sorrows. Tears rolled down from his cheeks. Markandeya asked, What is wrong? Have I done any mistake?" He was always considerate. But thereafter, the parents told him his birth story and said, "My son, you are only for 1 month in this earth." Listening the news, Markandeya was shrieked with anxiety and fear. His heart rent asunder. But he was a boy of great spiritual attainment. He could return to serenity without much time. His father said, "My son, I have heard that the Creator, while creating the death, has also created a way out in the shape of a mantra that is Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, the great mantra for victory over death. But nobody has yet overcome death or decoded this mantra. Markandeya said, Shiva, I was born with the blessings of Shiva, and he is going to show me the way out. Gone to the deep forest and was indulged in deep inner meditation. Just before meditating, he forms a Shivalinga with saints with his own hands and starts worshipping it with the chant of Mahamrutyunjaya mantra, Om Triambakam Yajamahe, Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, Urbarukam Yobandhanan, Mrityor Mukhyamah Mrutat. He immerses in the cosmic sound. Gradually, a Shivalinga materializes in his heart, a material object with white cylindrical base, a Jyotirlinga, linga of light. He worships that and had a feel of ineffable enjoyment. He could get the meaning of the first part, Om Triambakam Yajamahe. This relates to the worship of the three-eyed Lord, that is Shiva. Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam relates somewhat to health and a strong body, but he was stuck up on the second part. Urbarukam Yobandhanan, Mrityor Mukhyamah Mrutat. What a cucumber a god has to do with the upliftment of one's consciousness from mortality, the nexus between time and death. His mind flips from thoughts to thoughts. In this way, 29 days passed by. On that night, he was completely tired and gone to sleep. But at the dead of night, he woke up being completely frightened. The rest of the night, he spent in a stupor of restlessness, anxieties, fear, regrets, and worries. Next morning, he gets up. This is his 16th birthday. Up in the heaven, Yama updated his account book. 1 day left. Just imagine the situation. You bear a death sentence and which will be executed after 1 day. But here you are asked to sit and chant something which makes no sense. But we need to remember the exalted position of Mars in his horoscope, indicating indefatigable willpower. He pushes aside all the thoughts. He said, I will never yield to the weakness of my heart. Rather, he resolved then and there, I will die trying or will crack up to the secrets of Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. Goes on chanting it again and again. Gradually, he comes to feel that a mantra is composed of sound, the vibration of which opens the heart, and it has also a meaning which involves the brain. Thus comes the coordinated effort of both the mind and heart, intellect and intuition. He begins to know that our consciousness is attached to the body, just as a cucumber is firmly attached to the vine. But a ripened consciousness automatically rises beyond the body. So also a ripened cucumber loses its grips from the vine whence it came. In this way, he could understand the mantra, begins to feel the mantra and the truth within it. The moment it happens, the electricity of life flows through, and he was instantly rejuvenated. In every breath, he feels the power of Lord Shiva. He goes and hugging the Shivalingam and chanting the Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. Up in the heaven, Yama says the time is over. Materializes before Markandeya, seated on his buffalo, holding a noose of time. He says, Boy, leave the lingam, come over here, your time is up. Something unthinkable happens. Markandeya says, just wait a minute, I have not yet completed the puja. What? To the Lord of time you are asking to wait? Yama, out of anger, throws the noose of time which strangles the neck of Markandeya, he roared in pain and was lifted. Still then, he goes on chanting Om Triambakam Yajamahe in a choked voice. High up in Kailash, Shiva was in eternal meditation. His body shakes a bit. Who dares to disturb me? He emerges from the Shivalinga that Markandeya was hugging and bangs down his trident thrice on the earth, causing earthquake, volcanic eruption, tsunami. It seems as if the entire universe was going to be ablaze out of the blazing light coming out from the third eye opened. Markandeya goes on chanting, Jajamahe Sugandhim Purtivardhanam. Shiva's anger cools down, hearing the devotion of his devotee. He embraces Markandeya and said, there has never been, will never be a devotee like you. Even when death dances before you, you with all your mind, heart, soul and strength remain dedicated to me. In that time, the Kala, the time remains still. From that point onwards, time will never move for you. You will always be 16 years of age and will be immortal. Looking at Yama, Shiva said, your knowledge of time no longer applies to Markandeya so long as the creation exists. Shiva vanishes, Yama vanishes. Thus comes to us the 8 immortals. They are being 7 existing beings earlier. In this way, Markandeya has become immortal and he moves all around us, goes on chanting the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Maybe when you sleep tonight, you listen to the chant of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Jagannath.